It's pretty much guaranteed that the Oklahoma City Thunder will trade Russell Westbrook. And this is going to make the rest of this summer and this season very interesting because they have to trade him. He's not going to re-sign. If you don't trade him, you're going to get nothing. He's going to walk next season just like Kevin Durant just walked. You're going to get absolutely nothing. So to get something, you've got to trade him, and you've got to trade him fast. And what makes this even more difficult is that you've got to find a team that's willing to take him because it's basically a one-year rental. Whoever you trade him to, they're not guaranteed that he's going to re-sign. So you have to try to find a team that he likes so that they'll give you something good in return. Most teams are not willing to trade that much with no guarantee that Westbrook is going to re-sign when he's a free agent. The Thunder are really in a bad position now, but it's all their fault, and it starts way back to when they made it to the finals with James Harden. They were in the same situation. They drafted James Harden, and he developed into a phenomenal NBA player, but the Thunder were bringing him off the bench. He was clearly ready to be a superstar and ready for a bigger role and ready for max money, but the Thunder, they didn't want to pay the max money. You have to remember that the NBA is a business as well. And so when you go over the cap, you have to pay a huge salary tax. But if you want to win, you're probably going to have to pay that tax regardless. They actually released the numbers for the Cleveland Cavaliers, the champions of this season, and their luxury tax bill is $53 million. And that's because the Cavs, with their entire team, they went way over the cap. And all championship teams are basically going to be over the cap. I mean, that's a sacrifice that you have to make to get the kind of players you need to make it all the way and win it all the way. So this problem started when they were too cheap to pay James Harden the max and keep him there because they just made it to the NBA Finals. They got bounced by LeBron James and his super team with Miami. And this is what influenced Kevin Durant to leave. Everybody wants to be an NBA champion. But how can you be a champion when you get bounced out from a super team? Durant was there. Durant was basically supposed to be an NBA champion, but he had to go up against the LeBron James Miami Heat with Chris Bosh and Dwayne Wade, and that stopped his chances of winning. And then his own organization let a player go that was so important to them making it to the finals. And then they couldn't get back to the finals. Ever since they lost James Harden, they weren't able to get back there. As the star player of the team, you start losing hope in your own team when every time you have a good player and their contract is about to expire, they trade the player away, like James Harden, because they don't want to pay the luxury tax. And the Thunder had to do the same thing this year. They traded Ibaka because Ibaka was going to be a free agent next season, and they didn't think that they could keep him. So rather than letting Ibaka walk and getting nothing, like what they did with Kevin Durant, they took a gamble on Durant. They decided to trade him and get something. So now they're looking at Westbrook. They have to get something because why would he stay? Why would he sign an extension? If they can't get him to sign an extension now, they're going to trade him. And this dilemma with super teams, it's so interesting because when you think about it, it really started when the Boston Celtics put together that big three. When Kevin Garnett and Ray Allen were traded to the Celtics to join up with Paul Pierce, that interrupted with LeBron James and his ability to win a championship. He could not get by that Boston Celtics team. And so he left and made a super team to get by that team with the Heat. But then that team stopped Durant from winning his championship. So now he's just getting right back at LeBron. And this is just so funny. So now, who do you think they're going to trade Westbrook to? What teams have quality players to offer the Thunder so that they get something in return? But then at the same time, that team has to be a team that Westbrook is willing to play for. Very tough question to answer right now, but we will see, and that trade is going to happen. I don't see Westbrook signing an extension. If he signs an extension, man, oh man, that is a plot twist. This weakness of defending the paint, unless some dumb NBA team decides to send them in a trade the center that they need. So we'll have to watch the rest of this summer, the rest of the season, and see if anybody does something dumb. But I don't think they will. I think they're